Good morning, children. This is lecture 2 of chapter electrolysis. In this lecture, we will study about electrochemical series, selective discharge, electrolysis of molten lead bromide, acidified water and copper sulfate. Let us start with electrochemical series. What is an electrochemical series? Metal atoms lose electrons from their outermost shell. You all know about it, and they are forming positive ions. However, the tendency to lose electrons vary from metal to metal. Consequently, metals may be arranged in decreasing or increasing order of their tendency to lose electrons. Now, this ordering is called electrochemical series. Okay, based on the ease with which, this is very important, just again say it, based on the ease with which atoms of metals lose electrons to form positively charged ions, the metals are arranged in a series known as electrochemical series. You have to learn this, children. Based on the ease with which the atoms of metals lose electrons to form positively charged ion, the metals are arranged in a series which is known as electrochemical series. Okay. Now we will discuss about the electrochemical series of metals, that is cations. Now you are familiar with this series, that is the reactivity series, you know about it. Potassium, calcium, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, nickel, tin, lead, hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver, gold and platinum. Okay. Now when the cation is forming for sodium, it is becoming K plus. Now Ca, its cation is Ca2 plus. Sodium, its cation is Na plus. Like this, all are giving the cation, forming the cation. But the main important thing is that this is the downward arrow is showing here for the cation series, cations of the metals. Now this is increasing ease of discharged at cathode. Now you know that these are the cation forming when the electrolysis is going on. Then in that case this cation will move towards the cathode. Now when it will go towards the cathode, it will get discharged over there. That means it will take the electron from the cathode and it will gain electron. As it will gain electron from the cathode, it will discharge. Now that discharge is increasing with as we are going down the series. That means, I mean to say that copper 2 plus will discharge easily than the Na plus. If suppose we are having two cations in an electrolysis, two cations are forming, Na plus and Cu2 plus, then both of these two, Na plus and Cu2 plus, will move towards the cathode, but Cu2 plus will discharge fast than the sodium, Na plus. So easily Cu2 plus will get discharged. Okay, because suppose it is potassium K plus, when K plus is forming, it is having the K plus formation means it is having K metal is having 19 electrons. Okay, now K plus means it is 18 electrons. So 18 electrons means it is a stable configuration. It's a stable configuration. Okay, now if it is a stable configuration, okay, it will not, the electron, in that case the electrons will be very tightly bound to the nucleus. It will not allow the K plus will not get discharged so easily. K plus, if it is a cation formation, then K plus will not get discharged so easily. Okay, because it is having a stable configuration in that case. But Cu2 plus, if it is forming a Cu2 plus, then it will get easily discharged. So it is said that when the cation is forming, then it is in the downward direction. It's an increasing ease of discharge at cathode. So this series is known as electrochemical series of metals. Now, what are the features? A metal with a higher position in the series displays the one with the lower position. That means this one. The metal, now I am talking about the metal with a higher position in the series displays the one with a lower position. Number 2, metals below hydrogen cannot displace hydrogen from acid while those above it can. Okay, that is why it is said that if we will take, suppose, Cu plus H2SO4, being Cu lower in position than hydrogen, that Cu cannot displace hydrogen from the acid. But magnesium is being higher than hydrogen. So if we'll react magnesium with H2SO4, it will give you MgSO4 plus hydrogen will be liberated. It can displace hydrogen. But the second point again, the metals below hydrogen cannot displace hydrogen from acids while those above it can. Number 3, elements lower in the series get discharged more easily at cathode during electrolysis because their cations can easily gain electrons. Okay. Number 4, metal atoms which form their ion more easily will accept the electrons back to form the atoms with greatest difficulty. Metal atoms which form their ions most easily, that means in case of potassium, sodium, magnesium, calcium, these metals, they form their ion most easily because potassium is having 19 electron. In the last orbit it is having only 1 electron, so it can easily donate its electron to become a stable configuration. Those type of metals will accept the electron back to form atoms with greatest difficulty. And number 5, hydrogen has some properties of metal. For example, formation of positive ion. Thus, its position amongst metals confirm its identity with metals. Therefore, it has been placed along with the metal in the series. This hydrogen is, you all know about that hydrogen is having a dual character. It's showing some properties of the metal also. Okay. That is why it is placed with the metals in the electrochemical series. Now here electrochemical series of non-metals, that is anions. Anions are negatively charged ions. On electrolysis, they move towards the anode. You all know about it. Anions move towards the anode because negatively charged ion will form during electrolysis. So these anions will move towards the anode. They lose their extra electrons or the negative charge at the anode and are discharged there. Okay, but all anions do not have identical tendency to lose electrons. Like cations, they are also having some preferences. Based on their tendency to lose electrons and get discharged at the anode, the anions have been arranged in increasing order. Okay, now see here, this is the electrochemical series of anions, that is SO4 2 minus, NO3 minus, Cl minus, Br minus, I minus, OH minus. Okay, Now the increasing ease of discharge in the downward direction. So suppose I am having in an electrolysis, I am getting Cl minus and OH minus, both are forming, both will move towards an anode, but OH will get discharge, Cl will not. Okay. About electrochemical series of anions, lower the position of an anion in the series, more easily it get discharged at anode. I think you have understood that. And number 2, higher the position of the anion in the series, more difficult for it to lose electron or get oxidized. Am I clear? Because it is anion, it is having electrons in its outermost orbit, so it will give its electron, okay, and it will get oxidized. I think I am clear to you about the electrochemical series of cations and anions both. Now this is very important, selective discharge of ions at electrodes. When two or more ions of the same charge are present in an electrolytic solution, under identical conditions, they compete for discharge at the same electrodes, and one of them get preferentially discharged. I already explained this to you. If suppose in an electrolysis, two similar charge ions are forming, okay, then both of them will move towards the same electrode, but there is a competition between these two cations or anions, these two ions, which one will be discharged first. Okay, they are competing. That is given by the electrochemical series. Which one will get discharged first? This is known as selective discharge of ions. Selective discharge of ions depends on the following factors. What are the factors? These are the three factors. Relative positions of ion in the electrochemical series, I told you. So for that you have to learn the electrochemical series. Now if you can learn the electrochemical series, if you can learn that is reactivity series, you can easily do that. Reactivity series is very easy to learn. You can make a phrase of that and you can learn it. The smaller children are doing that. Now second is relative concentration of ions. So concentration of ions also depending upon that, which one will get discharged and the nature of the electrodes. Okay. See here, relative position of ions in electrochemical series. If all other factors are constant, any ion lower in the electrochemical series get discharged at the relevant electrode in preference to the above. Okay. Now see here the example, electrolysis of copper sulfate. Suppose we are electrolyzing copper sulfate solution. So copper sulfate we are taking in water. So copper sulfate will also get dissociated into two, that is Cu2 plus and SO4 2 minus, and as copper sulfate is in the solution, so there is water. Water is also dissociated into H plus and OH minus ion. So what are the cation present in that solution? That is Cu2 plus and H plus. These two are the cations present, and anion presents are SO4 2 minus and OH minus. Okay. Now at cathode, this Cu2 plus and H plus, both of these two will migrate towards cathode, but Cu2 plus being lower in the electrochemical series will discharge. Am I clear? Just remember the electrochemical series. After hydrogen H plus, Cu2 plus is coming. Okay. So Cu2 plus is the lower in the electrochemical series, so it will get the preference, and so Cu2 plus will get discharged in the when it will move towards cathode. So this is a reaction, Cu2 plus, it will take 2 electron, it is giving you Cu. Okay, so reduction is going on here. Cu2 plus is gaining 2 electrons. So we are getting Cu. Now at anode, SO4 2 minus and OH minus both will migrate towards anode. Okay, but as OH minus is lower in the electrochemical series of an ion. So OH will get the preference and OH will be discharged. Just see here, OH minus will take one electron, it is giving you OH. Now like this, another OH ion will move and it will again form OH. So we are getting OH plus OH, it is giving you H2O plus O. Now 2O, O and O, it is giving you O2. So this is the thing happening when an electrolysis is going on. Now here again you can see some examples of preferential discharge. Now see here, this is the electrolyte copper sulfate, dilute copper sulfate solution. Dissociation of electrolytes, that is CuSO4, Cu2 plus, SO4 2 minus, and H2O, H plus and OH minus. So these are the cations forming Cu2 plus and H plus, and they will migrate towards cathode, and reaction at cathode, Cu2 plus being lower in the electrochemical series, so it will get discharged. So it is forming Cu2 plus 2 electron, it is giving you Cu. Now ions migrate towards anode, those are the anions, that is SO4 2 minus and OH minus. So as OH minus is being lower in the electrochemical series, it will get discharged in the anode, and this is the reaction. Dilute NaCl. Now NaCl is dissociated into Na plus and Cl minus. Again the NaCl is in the solution, so H2 is there, so H plus and OH minus. So what are the cations here? Na plus and H plus. See here, so H plus being lower in the electrochemical series than sodium, so H plus will get discharged. It is discharging in this way. H plus is taking one electron, it is giving you H. Now H and H, it is giving you H2. Okay, now the anions are forming Cl minus and OH minus. You can see from here, both of these two will move towards the anode, but OH is being lower in the electrochemical series. This will get discharged, and this is the reaction is happening at the anode. The third one is concentrated NaCl solution. The second one is dilute NaCl solution. Now I am taking concentrated NaCl solution. Now see what is happening. NaCl is dissociated into Na plus and Cl minus, and H2O is H plus and OH minus. So cation forms are Na plus and H plus. Both of these two will go towards the cathode. Okay, now here again H plus is being lower in the electrochemical series, so it will get discharged. Now Cl minus and OH minus, so these two are the anions moving towards the anode, but Cl minus, here the concentrated solution of NaCl, so this Cl minus will get discharged, and this is the formation, this is the reaction take place at the anode. So children, you have to learn about it, which one will discharge. Okay, some of the examples which are given, you have to learn this. Now, selective discharge of ion at electrodes, it's also depending upon the concentration of the ions present in the electrolyte. If an electrolyte has a much higher concentration of a particular ion, then that ion will be discharged in the relevant electrodes in preference to those ions which are lower in the electrochemical series but are also present. What does it mean? It means that suppose we are having two cations present in an electrolyte. Suppose we are having Na plus and Cu2 plus. Okay, we are having suppose Na plus and Cu2 plus. And in the electrochemical series, Cu2 plus is coming lower than the sodium Na plus in the electrochemical series. So preferentially Cu2 plus should get discharged because both these will move towards the cathode. So Cu2 plus preferentially it should get discharged. But if in the solution Na plus, the concentration of Na plus is higher, then both of them will go to the cathode, but Na plus will get discharged because the concentration of Na plus is more than the Cu2 plus in the electrolyte. Clear? Now, electrolysis of concentrated NaCl In that, what is happening? We are having NaCl, Na plus and Cl minus, and H2O is H plus and OH minus. So the cation present is Na plus and H plus, and anion present is Cl minus and OH minus. At cathode, Na plus and H plus, that will migrate. H plus means H2O plus, hydronium ion. But despite high concentration of Na plus, H plus gains electron more easily than Na plus. So in the cathode, this hydrogen will get discharged. Like as usual, hydrogen is also lower in the electrochemical series. But hydrogen H plus can gain electron more easily, so H plus will get discharged, though it is a concentrated solution of NaCl. Hydrogen gas bubbles off at the cathode. But in case of the anion, the Cl minus and OH minus both will migrate towards anode. The concentration of Cl minus being much higher than OH minus, Cl minus get discharged at the anode, though position of OH minus is much lower than Cl minus. So if OH minus and Cl minus both are migrating towards anode, from the electrochemical series you have seen that OH minus should get preference, so OH minus should get discharged, but as it is a concentrated solution, the Cl minus ions will get discharged when it will move towards anode because of the concentration only. Though OH minus is, the position of OH minus is much lower than Cl minus in the electrochemical series. So how it is happening? Cl minus minus E is giving you Cl, and Cl plus Cl is giving you Cl2. Okay, now Cl2 gas bubbled off at the anode. Am I clear? This is known as the selective discharge of ion at the electrodes when the concentration is considered. Concentration of the ion is considered. The next point, that is selective discharge of ion at electrodes, is also depending upon the nature of the electrode used. Now, electrode used in this process of electrolysis is either inert or active. The electrode used determine the ion preferred for discharge. It's very important to choose the correct electrode. If inert electrode like graphite and platinum are used, they will not take part in the electrolytic reaction, so you don't have any problem. In that case, electrolysis will depend only on the position in the electrochemical series and the concentration of ions. Electrode is not having any role if we are using inert electrode. Graphite, platinum, they are in inert electrode, so they will not take part in the electrolytic reaction, so the electrolysis and the preferential discharge will only depending only upon the electrochemical series and the concentration of the ions. But if active electrode like copper, nickel, silver are used, they take part in electrolytic reaction and the product form is different. Now, for example, electrolysis of copper sulfate solution. If active electrode copper is used, then copper atom is deposited at the cathode and copper ions are formed at the anode. Okay. Now, if inert electrode platinum is used, then instead of Cu2 plus ion, oxygen is formed at the anode. Children, these all are very important and this all you have to remember. You have to learn this and you have to remember this. Now, this is an example, electrolysis of lead bromide. For that, we have to take the electrolyte molten lead bromide. Temperature is above 380 degrees centigrade. Melting point of lead bromide is to be maintained by continuous heating. Electrolytic cell, that is silica crucible we are using. Electrode, for this electrolysis we are using graphite rod as cathode and anode both. Okay, we are using inert graphite and that is connected to the battery by copper wire. Now, what are the ions present? Ions present Pb2 plus and Br minus. Actually, lead bromide PbBr2 is dissociates into Pb2 plus 2Br minus. So Pb2 plus will move towards cathode and Br minus will move towards anode. Now at the cathode, what is happening? Pb2 plus 2e electron it will take and it will discharge as at Pb. At anode, Br minus will take 1 electron and it will discharge as Br. Now Br and Br will give you Br2. So overall reaction PbBr2, which is giving you Pb solid and Br2 gas. Now what is the observation? The observation is dark reddish brown fumes of bromine evolved at the anode. This is the bromine evolved at the anode, and silvery grey lead metal is formed at the anode. This is the silvery grey lead metal. Now you can see here, this is the diagram, this is a figure. Now this is a silica crucible. Now in that both electrodes, cathode and anodes, they are graphite rod, graphite cathode and graphite anode connected with the battery. Okay, now this is in this crucible we have taken molten lead bromide. This will get dissociate Pb2 plus and Br minus. They will move towards the cathode and anode. Now what is the explanation? Positive lead ions Pb2 plus migrate towards cathode as I already told you, and by taking 2 electrons each become neutral Pb. Now bromine ions migrate towards anode and by losing an electron become neutral and eventually form bromine gas. Children, this is in your portion and you have to learn and you have to remember which type of electrode we are using, what is the cell reaction, the cathode and anode cell reaction individually, and then overall reaction. You have to learn what is the temperature, what is the electrolyte, and you have to remember that we are taking molten lead bromide. Now important notes. Electrolytic cell is made of silica. Why? Because it is non-reactive, it is non-conductor of electricity, and it can withstand high temperature, and that is why we are using silica. Solid lead bromide as such is non-conductor of electricity as its ions are not free. However, in molten state they become free. Therefore, the crucible is continuously heated from outside for maintaining the molten state of lead bromide. This is a very important question. Graphite electrodes are preferred over other inert electrodes. Why? Because graphite remains unaffected by reactive bromine vapor. That also you have to see, because in that bromine vapor is coming out. So graphite is unaffected by bromine vapor. Now ionization of acidified water. Acidified water, we are taking H2SO4, we are adding dilute H2SO4 with water to make it conducting. Okay, now what is the electrolyte used? Acidified water, water and dilute H2SO4. Electrode platinum foil we are using for that. Ions present H plus, OH minus, SO4 2 minus, because we are having water. So water will dissociate into ionic equation. See, you can see here H2 dissociate into H plus and OH minus, and we are having H2SO4 that is getting dissociated as 2H plus and SO4 2 minus. So we are having H plus and H plus. That means cation present is only H plus and the anion present OH minus and SO4 2 minus both. So what is the reaction at the cathode? That is H plus will move towards cathode and it will take 1 electron and it will get discharged. Now 2H is giving you H2. Now this OH minus and SO4 2 minus, both being anion, will move towards anode. Now what is the anode reaction? Preferentially OH minus is at the lower position in the electrochemical series than SO4 2 minus. So this OH minus will get discharged. Okay, so what will happen? OH minus is discharging as OH plus E. That means OH minus is taking one electron. You can write this equation in this way also. OH minus one electron, it is giving you OH. Okay, now 2 OH is giving you H2O plus O. Now O and O again is giving you O2. So what we are getting? We are getting H2 and O2 in both the limbs, that is anode and cathode. Now overall reaction, 2H2O plus electric energy, it is giving you 2H2 plus O2. We are getting hydrogen and oxygen. This is the apparatus. This is acidified water plus dilute H2SO4 we have taken here. Now these are the two electrodes. Okay, these are the two electrodes, and here the hydrogen is collected and here the oxygen is collected. Now the oxygen collected is 1 volume and the hydrogen collected is 2 volume. You can see here. These are the platinum electrodes. Okay. Now cathode, this is cathode and this is anode. At anode, OH minus loses 1 electron and become neutral OH. Combination of 4 OH group produce 2 molecules of water and 1 oxygen molecule. Okay. Now what is happening? That 2OH and 2OH is giving you 2H2O plus O2. Now see here, at anode 4 electrons are lost for forming 1 molecule of oxygen. So 4OH minus is giving you 4OH plus 4 electron. These 4 electron must be used up at cathode. So 4H plus is now taking this 4 electron to give you 2H2. This shows during electrolysis of water, number of hydrogen molecules produced will be twice the number of oxygen molecules produced. According to Avogadro's law, the molecules may be substituted by volume. Thus, electrolysis of water gives 2 volume of hydrogen and 1 volume of oxygen. This I am showing you in the next slide. The dissociation of 4 water molecule, I am just showing you, just wait. Now since SO4 2 minus ion migrates towards the anode and H plus ion get discharged at the cathode, concentration of sulfuric acid decreases at the cathode. Now discharge of OH minus at the anode disturbs the ionic equilibria of water, and to compensate this, more water molecule get ionized. Clear? So again H2 is giving you H plus and OH minus. This extra H plus ion and the SO4 2 minus ions accumulated due to migration increase the concentration of sulfuric acid. The total acidity of H2SO4 anode plus cathode, however, remains unaffected. Okay, now in the next slide I am just showing you the ionization of 4 water molecule. Now the formation of 2 volume of hydrogen and 1 volume of oxygen from 4 molecule of water, I am just showing you how it is happening. I am having 4 water molecule. So water molecule get dissociate into H2O, will get dissociate into H plus and OH minus. Okay, like this I am having 4 water molecule. I am talking about 1 molecule of water. From 1 molecule of water I am getting 1 H plus. Now this 1 H plus, it is taking 1 electron and getting discharged as H. Okay, and this is known as H free radical, which is denoted by a dot, very reactive. Now from the second molecule of water, again I am getting one H plus, which is taking one electron and giving you H. Okay, as I told you, the free radical will give you dot. In the third water molecule, H plus ion will take one electron and it is giving you another H. Now in the fourth water molecule, one H plus will come out and it will take one electron and it will dissociate into, it will form H hydrogen radical. Now these two will give you one H2 molecule and this two will give you one H2 molecule. So total we are getting 2H2. Now similarly with OH minus. Now I am having 4 OH minus. Now one OH minus is now giving one electron and it will form OH free radical, which is very reactive. Now another OH minus from the second molecule of water, it is again losing one electron and forming one OH minus. Why I am putting dot? Because they are very reactive. Now third one, from third molecule of water, it is again losing one electron and forming one OH. And the fourth OH minus is losing one electron and forming one OH. Now from these two, you can see here, from these two, they are giving you H2O and one oxygen. If you just see here, just let me just show you. Suppose this two. Okay, this will give you H2O and what we are getting? We are getting one oxygen. Okay, again this is free. Now from here again, I'll get one H2O and one oxygen. Now when these two will react, I'm getting 2H2, 2H2O plus O2. Okay, so what I'm getting from 4 molecule of water, I am getting 2H2 and I am getting one O2. So that means the formation of hydrogen is double than the formation of oxygen when the electrolysis of water is going on. I hope it is clear to you. Okay. Electrolysis of copper sulfate solution using platinum electrode. Now electrolysis, saturated solution of copper to sulfate. Electrodes, platinum as cathode and anode both. Ionic equation, CuSO4 is giving you Cu2 plus and SO4 2 minus, and H2 is giving you H plus and OH minus. Ions present, Cu2 plus, H plus, SO4 2 minus and OH minus. Okay, all four are written here. Reaction at cathode, Cu2 plus and H plus both will migrate towards cathode, but Cu2 plus will get discharged preferentially. You know that because H plus in the higher in the electrochemical series than copper Cu2 plus. So Cu2 plus 2 electron, it is giving you Cu. Now copper ion being below H plus in electrochemical series get deposited on cathode. Anode reaction, SO4 2 minus and OH minus both will migrate towards anode, and you know that OH minus will get discharged because it is lower in the electrochemical series, so it will get discharged to form neutral OH radical, which themselves unite to form water and oxygen. Okay, see the reaction here, 4 OH minus is giving you 4 OH plus 4 electron. 2 OH plus 2 OH is giving you 2 H2O plus O2. The product at anode is oxygen. The product at cathode is reddish brown Cu because copper will deposit it. Okay. When deposition of copper is completed, electrolysis of water takes place. So then what will happen? The blue color of the solution due to Cu2 plus slowly fades as Cu2 plus slowly get deposited. There will be no copper. So if no copper will be there, then the blue color will fade out. Is it okay? Now see what is happening. The same electrolysis of copper sulfate but using copper electrode. The previous one with platinum electrode. Now we are using copper electrode. Now the electrolyte is aqueous copper sulfate solution acidified with dilute H2SO4 acid. Electrode copper both as cathode and anode. Now ionic equation CuSO4 is giving you Cu2 plus and SO4 2 minus, and H2O is giving you H plus and OH minus. Okay, so ions present Cu2 plus, H plus, SO4 2 minus and OH minus. If sulfuric acid is dissociate, then also it will give you H plus and SO4 2 minus. So overall we are having the ions Cu2 plus and H plus as cation and SO4 2 minus and O minus as anion. Now the reaction as cathode, Cu2 plus, it will take 2 electron, it will give you Cu. Now though both Cu2 plus and H plus migrate towards cathode, copper ion being below H plus in electrochemical series get deposited on cathode. You all know about it. Now reaction at anode, what is happening? Cu minus 2 electron is giving you Cu2 plus. See, at the anode, this SO4 2 minus and OH minus will migrate towards anode. But we are using copper electrode. So as in anode also we are having copper electrode. So though SO4 2 minus and OH minus is migrating towards anode, but copper from the electrode, it will take part in the reaction. So it is happening, this copper which we have taken as an electrode in the anode, that will lose 2 electron and form Cu2 plus, and that Cu2 plus from the anode, it is coming out as Cu2 plus and it will get dissolved in the water, in the solution. See here it is written SO4 2 minus and OH minus ions migrate towards anode, but neither of them get discharged at anode. Copper anode itself ionized to give Cu2 plus ions. So what are the product form? The product at anode is copper anode keeps on dissolving during the reaction, which keeps on getting into the solution, as I told you. So after some times what will happen? The copper anode will become thin and thin and thin, and sometime it will finish. So in that case what we have to do? We have to replace again the anode. The copper anode again will be replaced by another copper electrode. Okay, and product at cathode, the reddish brown copper gets deposited. So in that case the blue color will not fade out so easily, because from the anode copper ion is again dissociate, it again discharge as Cu2 plus and it will move into the liquid. So in the liquid sulfate ion is there, so it will again react with the sulfate and it is forming CuSO4 again. So blue color is remaining, it is not fading out. Am I clear what is the difference between that electrolysis of the copper sulfate solution using platinum electrode and copper electrode? You have to learn all this, children. Now you can see here the blue color of aqueous copper sulfate solution remains unchanged during the electrolysis. I already explained this to you, because the copper ion, copper 2 plus ion, which is coming out from the anode is getting and dissolving in the solution. For every Cu2 plus ion discharge at cathode as neutral copper atom, a Cu2 plus ion is released and added to the solution from the anode. Therefore, the blue color of the solution does not fade. I already explained this to you. The third point, the cathode will become thicker and the anode will become thinner as it keeps dissolving. I hope it is clear to you. Now, along with this, lecture 2 ends here. In the next lecture, we shall study different application of electrolysis.